and her boyfriend was arrested on the scene. He hasn't been publicly named, but now his family is speaking out, and they say it was all a misunderstanding.
Welcome to CSL TV, and I just hope you guys are having a beautiful, blessed day. Now, if you're new to the channel, this is just a review, a reaction, as well as an informational channel. Hopefully the informational part help you and someone out, and we just basically watching videos, you're talking about them. Now, if you've been rocking with me, watching all the stuff that I post, I just appreciate you so much, because you could be somewhere else trying to watch this type of stuff, but yeah, you come back messing with me. So hey, I just hope everything in your life is going okay, if not going great. And I don't want to make this intro too long, so you already know what we gonna do. Let's get it.
My home on the front page.
When it comes to upholding the law, judges are supposed to be role models, but some are anything but. Today we're back with 3 more judges who landed themselves in serious trouble. Number 3, Magistrate Michael Bachmann. First, we're in the Hamilton County Court in Cincinnati, Ohio. Magistrate Michael Bachmann is presiding over a case when he suddenly hears a loud commotion coming from the hallway. In the hallway is Cassandra Jackson. She's frustrated because she was just told she missed the deadline for filing a protection order, and the commotion Magistrate Bachmann is hearing is her arguing with a court official. Eventually, Jackson gives up and walks away. 10 seconds later, Judge Bachmann is hot on her trail. He chases her down until he catches up to her at the elevators. Then, he leads her back to his courtroom. But while walking back to the courtroom, Jackson turns a wrong corner. That's when Magistrate Bachmann makes a mistake he will regret for the rest of his life. Inside, Magistrate Bachmann sentences Jackson to 3 days in jail for contempt of court. When Jackson tries to resist arrest, she quickly subdued, and her sentence is raised to 10 days. Jackson was released after 2 days. She later filed a civil suit against Bachmann, which she won, and Bachmann was forced to resign from his position. Number 2.
Now, he knew he messed up when he put his hands on her, you know what I'm saying? That's something you don't do, is put your hands on somebody you don't know, because for one, you don't know them. 2, I mean, come on now, Judge. Look how this just looked on you. You lost your job. The fucking city had to pay money because you wasn't doing the right thing. And this is what it's all about here. Doing what's right, because he had no right to chase her down the way he did. She was there for a protection order, which means she was already going through something, and he just made it even worse for her.
Number 2, Judge William Watkins III. Next up is a divorce hearing in Putnam County, West Virginia. Pastor Arthur Hage and his estranged wife are in court to settle the terms of their divorce. But what Hage doesn't know is that the judge presiding over the case has a bone to pick with him.
Mr. Hague, if you say one word out of turn, you're going to jail. Do you understand me? Yes or no?
Earlier that morning, Judge William Watkins III saw an article that disclosed his personal information, and despite having no evidence to prove it, he believes Hage to be the culprit. As soon as the hearing starts, Judge Watkins wastes no time to go at Hage.
After we closed here, you went out there and talked to a reporter. 5 seconds after you left here, to start like my admonition. This morning, I now see an article from your little buddy Smith with a picture of my home on the front page.
He then takes it one step too far.
You disgusting piece of... You're responsible. You are responsible. I'm holding you personally responsible for anything that happens at my house. I promise you, that if I so much as see somebody break...
Alright guys, we got another one. We got the champ Izzy Adesanya versus Sean Strickland in the main event, UFC 293 in Australia.
My home, my life, my family, you and me are going to have a problem.
He also makes it crystal clear that he won't let this go.
You're personally responsible. Please understand that. I will resign this bench. And I will personally see to it that you never see a free day in your life. You understand that? You're going to jail. I swear to God.
A few days after the hearing, Hage files a complaint against Watkins, after which Watkins admits he overreacted and recuses himself from the case. But the incident led to an investigation into Watkins that ended with him being condemned for 24 violations. Consequently, he got suspended without pay for the remainder of his term. A few months later, Watkins announced his retirement.
Well, that simply was a judge freaked out. I mean, come on, man. His house was on the front paper. His house. You know how many people he done sent to jail? How many people he probably done talked crazy to? Because it's people like him who be in the power house. We just saw him yelling in the courtroom. It's people like him who abuse their power and don't do what's right or do what they feel is right. And that yelling in the courtroom, acting like that isn't right. He should have got people involved in it. Sold the house, got a new goddamn house. Now he ain't got no job. Then they gonna talk about, oh, he retired. No, he's about to get fired. That's what happened. He is just waiting to go back because he was suspended without pay. Think about that. Suspended without pay. You come back and retire. No, bro. You was about to get fired. They just want you to do it the right way. So it look good for you. You know what I'm saying? A little nice take-home package. Probably not as big as it was or was going to be. But since you didn't do things the right way and you let your mind and whatever you was feeling get the best of you. So you got to keep it under control, boss.
Number 1. Judge Monica Hawkins. On January 31st, 2019, Judge Monica Hawkins was arrested for driving under the influence. When police took her to the station, she refused to give a breath sample.
So what I'm going to ask is that you provide a breath sample, okay? And if you refuse, then your Ohio driver's license will automatically be suspended.
Okay.
Okay, so are you willing to provide a breath sample?
No.
No, so you're going to refuse?
Yes.
Okay, so you do understand that you will immediately be placed under suspension for that?
Yes.
Hawkins was taken to the hospital for a blood sample that confirmed her high blood alcohol level, and she was charged with an OVI. After she sobered up, she realized her mistake and pleaded guilty.
Plea you enter for one count of operating a vehicle while impaired.
Yes, Your Honor.
What plea?
I'm guilty, sorry.
Thank you.
Judge Hawkins was sentenced to 90 days in prison and 87 days were suspended. But that isn't the end of it. A year later, she is standing in front of the Ohio Supreme Court facing 2 counts of misconduct, violating the law and failing to promote confidence in the judicial system.
Hopefully my history has been an indicator of what type of person I am and that this will never happen again. I've spent my whole life trying to do the next best thing and be the perfect person and fight for justice and people and doing right. But because I'm a spiritual person, I do believe that there's a reason and a lesson to learn. And all I can do is forgive myself and move forward, be the best judge I can be.
Ultimately, Hawkins received a public reprimand and was allowed to stay on the bench.
Oh, Judge, man. Thank God she didn't hurt nobody. Just for the simple fact, car accidents, man, they hurt people in many ways. Whether if it's emotionally, physically, you know what I'm saying? They could be going through some, having hassles of going here, there. Trust me, I know of how car accidents can change so much. And then in that time, you could lose people. So, Judge, it's a good thing you know you messed up just for the simple fact you could have hurt somebody that night. And I'm glad that you understood your mistakes. And I understand sometimes you get put in situations that you don't want to be in. But spiritually, you get put there. And you just have to fight through it. So I'm happy she understood that, and I'm happy she knew that. And man, I just hope that she never go through what she was going through again to put her in that dark situation that could change her life as well as many other people's lives, because you never know.
This story out of Ohio is heartbreaking. This is 18-year-old Jalen Petrowski from Toledo. On the morning of September 2nd, some neighborhood kids Reportedly, 5 and 6-year-olds got into an argument, and Jalen and her 16-year-old boyfriend stepped in. They had been dating for 3 years, and there are no reports of them fighting, but the dispute among the young children somehow escalated, leading the boyfriend to pull out a gun and shoot his girlfriend square in the chest. She was rushed to the hospital, where she later died from her injuries, and her boyfriend was arrested on the scene. He hasn't been publicly named, but now his family is speaking out, and they say it was all a misunderstanding. Apparently, the boyfriend says he was just trying to scare the kids and didn't mean to shoot Jalen. The parents went on to say he shouldn't have had a gun and emphasized how much the two loved each other and how much they loved her. He was arrested and put into a juvenile detention center before being charged with her murder. Around 100 people showed up to a vigil that night to honor her. In a country with more guns than people, studies have shown that just having a gun puts people in your home at greater risk of being killed. And despite a rise in gun violence among youth in Ohio, Republican lawmakers there won't allow for gun safety laws. Rest in peace, Jalen.
Man, rest in peace, man. I mean, that's just crazy to hear that he did that to try to scare people and the gun went off, which means it must have been modified, or he had no reason having a fucking gun anyway, and he shouldn't have dang been trying to scare people, because for the simple fact, nowadays in a world where a 4-year-old can have a gun, if the person they're around is being irresponsible, it could do some crazy, unthinkable stuff. So trying to taunt people, scare people, I hope y'all learn not to do that, because you can get in trouble even if you don't shoot that gun. Just by pointing at them, posing a threat towards them, you can get in trouble. So don't do that. Rest in peace. Hopefully, this help someone learn that even pointing a gun, you could kill somebody or even get in trouble for it, even if you don't shoot nobody.